Welcome back, treasure hunters and rare coin enthusiasts. Today, you are about to step into the world of unimaginable fortune, the world where a single, tiny coin, forgotten in drawers, passed down in families, or lost in history, can transform an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. Yes, you heard me right. We are diving deep into the ocean of treasures to uncover the top 7 ultra-rare Mercury dimes, the most valuable dimes shaking today's auction markets. These are not just coins. These are symbols of hidden wealth, whispers of history, and keys to a kingdom of untold riches. Stay with me until the very end, because each dime on this list carries not only an incredible story, but also a shocking market value that will leave you stunned. By the time you finish this video, you will realize why my channel is trusted by collectors worldwide, because here we do not just talk about coins, we reveal treasures that change lives. Coin number 1. Imagine holding a piece of American history from 1939, a year shadowed by global unrest, but also remembered for the craftsmanship of its coinage. The Mercury dime, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime, was designed by Adolph A. Weinman. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, it became an icon of freedom, progress, and beauty. But not all dimes are equal, and this particular 1939 example, without a mint mark, is a silent guardian of fortune. What makes this dime so different? It is the absence of a mint mark, a subtle feature, yet powerful enough to place it among the most hunted coins in the world. The delicate silver surface carries black dots from natural aging, marks that add an ancient, mysterious aura, as if history itself stamped its fingerprint upon the coin. Collectors see not damage, but proof of authenticity and survival through decades of war, peace, and change. Its rarity cannot be overstated. Mercury dimes from 1939 are collectible, but those without a mint mark, still intact, and showing these distinctive aging marks, are almost non-existent in today's market. Auction houses describe such pieces as treasures of silence, hidden for generations before finally surfacing. And now comes the moment that truly shakes the ground beneath your feet, the market value. This Mercury dime, in the very condition described, is not merely a coin worth a few hundred or even a few thousand. Oh, it carries an astonishing value of $65,000 in today's auction market. Yes, $65,000 for a single small coin that can fit inside your palm. Think about it. This is not pocket change. This is life-changing wealth condensed into silver. This is the kind of coin that transforms collectors into millionaires and ordinary people into legends. Truly, a treasure chest in a single dime. Never overlook the details. Look closely at your coins, inspect the mint marks, and study the natural aging. What may seem like just another old dime could be your golden ticket to fortune. So as we close the story of this first masterpiece, remember, the 1939 no-mint mark Mercury dime is more than silver. It is a timeless gem, a millionaire maker, and one of the hottest treasures burning in the auction spotlight today. Next, coin number 2. Now, prepare yourself for yet another breathtaking discovery, because coin number 2 on our treasure hunt list takes us straight into the heart of the World War II era. The year was 1943. A time when the entire world was engulfed in conflict, when every resource was precious, and when every American dime carried not only monetary value, but also symbolic weight. And from this era comes one of the rarest jewels in the coin-collecting universe, the 1943 Mercury dime without a mint mark, carrying a stunning black shade and surviving in fine condition. Let's begin with its history and background. The Mercury dime, designed by Adolph A. Weinman, had already established itself as one of the most elegant U.S. coin designs ever struck. Featuring Lady Liberty wearing a winged cap, the coin embodied freedom of thought and America's unshakable spirit. By 1943, the country was deep in the fight for freedom across the globe, and silver coins like this dime were struck as symbols of strength and national pride. But among the millions minted, this no-mint mark variety has emerged as one of the crown jewels of rare U.S. coins. Now, let's talk about its unique features. This particular specimen stands out because of its black shade across the silver surface, a natural toning that developed over decades of careful storage and natural oxidation. Far from being a flaw, this shading gives the coin a hauntingly beautiful appearance, as if it were a piece of midnight frozen in silver. Collectors treasure such unique toning because no two coins ever tone in exactly the same way, making each one absolutely unique, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece of nature and time. When it comes to rarity and collector demand, the absence of a mint mark is the critical factor. Most 1943 dimes carry a mint mark, either D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but those without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia. While many were minted, only a select few have survived the decades in fine condition, showing both the sharp details of Weinmann's artistry and the mysterious dark toning that elevates it to a class of its own. For collectors, this coin represents the perfect combination: history, beauty, rarity, and undeniable demand. It is exactly the kind of coin that sparks furious bidding wars at auction houses. And now, let's step into the world of pure fortune, the current market value. This black-shaded 1943 Mercury dime, without a mint mark and in fine condition, is commanding a staggering $78,000 in today's auction market. Yes, $78,000 for a dime once used to buy candy or newspapers during the 1940s. Think about the power of that transformation. An ordinary coin, overlooked by most, has now become a ticket to instant fortune. This is not just currency, this is a millionaire's seed, a piece of silver carrying the weight of a treasure chest. Coins like this are not just about monetary gain, they are about owning a slice of history, a relic from an era when freedom was fought for and preserved. To hold such a dime is to hold the courage, artistry, and spirit of an entire generation. If you ever stumble upon a Mercury dime from 1943, study it carefully. Look for the absence of a mint mark. Notice the shading. Because if you are lucky enough to hold one like this, you are holding a treasure worth more than gold, a true collector's dream, and a symbol of prosperity waiting to be unlocked. This 1943 no mint mark Mercury dime is not just fine in condition, it is fine in fortune. It is living proof that treasures don't always come in chests, they come in the palm of your hand, disguised as a small silver dime that could change your life forever. Next coin, number 3. Our next step takes us even further back in time, into the roaring 1920s, a decade of jazz, prosperity, and transformation in America. And hidden in that golden era, amidst the energy of flappers and the echoes of Wall Street, lies a breathtaking masterpiece of coinage, the 1927 Mercury dime without a mint mark, beautifully preserved in fine condition. This is not just a coin, my friends. This is a time capsule, a treasure, and a fortune all wrapped into one. Let's begin with its history and background. The Mercury dime series began in 1916 and continued until 1945, but by 1927, the design had already cemented itself as one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage. Adolph A. Weinmann's Liberty, mistaken by many as the Roman god Mercury, was more than just art. It symbolized freedom of thought, youthful energy, and the American dream at its peak. In 1927, these dimes were struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, circulating through bustling cities and small towns alike. Today, however, nearly all have disappeared, worn down by years of circulation or lost to time. The few that remain in fine condition stand as legendary survivors. Now, consider its unique features. The absence of a mint mark makes this coin an immediate standout, as it ties directly to the Philadelphia Mint, the birthplace of America's coinage. This particular piece carries a natural brilliance and soft beauty, a beautiful look that has resisted the erosion of nearly a century. Its surfaces reveal subtle details of Weinmann's artistry: Liberty's winged cap, the olive branches, and the sharp torch of freedom. These are not just engravings, they are whispers from history, speaking across generations to tell us that this coin was never meant to be ordinary. When we talk about rarity and demand, the 1927 no-mint mark dime becomes even more extraordinary. Unlike later years, where higher mintage numbers flooded the market, the 1927 issues were scarcer, and surviving examples in fine condition are exceedingly rare. Collectors today know the struggle. Finding one is like striking gold, and owning one is like keeping lightning in your hand. This is the kind of coin that auction houses describe as a collector's battlefield, where only the boldest and wealthiest walk away with victory. Now, for the moment of truth, the current market value. The 1927 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, in fine condition and with its naturally preserved beauty, is valued at a jaw-dropping $75,000 in today's market. That's $75,000 for a coin that once passed from hand to buy groceries or newspapers in the Roaring '20s. What once was loose change is now a vault of fortune, a millionaire's key, a treasure chest forged in silver. Imagine the shock of discovering this in an old collection or forgotten drawer. Instant wealth in the blink of an eye. This coin also carries a powerful lesson and tip. Always study the year and the mint mark. The tiniest detail, something as simple as a missing letter, can turn an ordinary dime into a legendary treasure worth tens of thousands. Patience, research, and a sharp eye are the collector's greatest weapons, and this 1927 gem proves it beyond doubt. The 1927 no-mint mark Mercury dime is not just silver, it is living history. It is a millionaire maker hiding in plain sight, a treasure that elevates its owner into a guardian of America's past and a master of tomorrow's fortune. Next coin, number 4. As we move further back into history, we arrive at the year 1918, a year charged with global change. The First World War had just ended. The world was breathing again, and America stood tall as a rising power of freedom and hope. And from this pivotal moment in history comes one of the rarest and most electrifying treasures in United States. Coinage, the 1918 Mercury dime with the D mint mark of Denver, a coin of breathtaking beauty and unimaginable value, even in circulated condition. Let's dive into its history and background. The Mercury dime, or winged Liberty head dime, had only been in production for 2 short years when this 1918 with D issue was struck. Designed by the masterful Adolph A. Weinmann, its portrait of liberty in a winged cap was more than just an image. It symbolized freedom of thought, the soaring spirit of progress, and the resilience of a young nation. Struck in 90% silver during a time when America was supplying both its citizens and the world with a vision of prosperity, this coin emerged as a messenger of strength. But what makes this particular coin so special? Let's look at its unique features. The D mint mark on the reverse, just beside the olive branch and fasces, ties this dime to the historic Denver Mint. While Philadelphia struck many dimes, Denver's output was lower, and surviving pieces from 1918 are shockingly rare. Even in circulated condition, This coin shows off its beautiful look, a charm that no amount of wear can erase. The details may be softened by use, but the artistry remains alive. Liberty's profile, the fasces, the torch of freedom all carry a sense of endurance, as though the coin itself has carried the story of America's triumphs through every hand it has passed. Now let's talk about rarity and collector demand. The 1918 with D Mercury dime is one of the most celebrated keys of the entire Mercury dime series. While many collectors can find common dates, only the truly determined can ever hope to add this piece to their collection. Auction houses see bidding wars erupt over such coins because demand far outstrips supply. This is not just rare, it is elite. The kind of coin that defines a collection, the kind of treasure that puts you in a class of your own among collectors. And here comes the moment that will leave you absolutely stunned, the current market value. This circulated 1918 with D Mercury dime. Even after all these years of passing through countless hands, commands an astounding $108,000 in today's auction market. This circulated 1918 with D Mercury dime. Even after all these years of passing through countless hands, commands an astounding $108,000 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard that right. Over $100,000 for a single silver dime. That is not just a coin, that is a fortune condensed into metal, a millionaire's weapon, a key that unlocks the vaults of treasure. Imagine finding one in an old family collection or tucked away in a forgotten box, the kind of discovery that instantly catapults you into the realm of riches. Never underestimate circulated coins. Too often, people believe that only uncirculated pieces hold value. But history teaches us otherwise. Sometimes it is the rare date, the rare mint mark, and the unique survival of a coin that matter far more than pristine condition. If you ever see a Mercury dime from 1918, check for that tiny D mint mark. It could be the signal of a life-changing treasure. The 1918 with D Mercury dime is not just another coin, it is the heartbeat of fortune. It carries the scars of circulation, but those scars are the marks of authenticity, the proof that history lives in your hands. To own one is to hold not just silver, but power, prestige, and the promise of wealth beyond imagination. Next coin, number 5. And with it we open another door to hidden fortune. The year is 1923, a period when America was roaring with energy, prosperity, and cultural transformation. Jazz echoed in the night, cities grew taller, and money flowed freely in the decade known as the Roaring Twenties. And from this remarkable era emerges one of the most captivating treasures of United States. Coinage, the 1923 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, carrying a natural brown layer, a truly beautiful look, and surviving today in very fine condition. Let's begin with its history and background. Struck in Philadelphia, the 1923 Mercury dime continued the proud tradition of Adolph A. Weinman's design, which had by then become an icon of American artistry. Lady Liberty, crowned with wings of freedom, was not just a figure on a coin, she was the spirit of America itself, soaring higher and higher in a decade defined by ambition and modernity. But while millions of dimes circulated, only a fraction survived the passing century, and far fewer survived in the breathtaking state of preservation we see here. Now let's explore its unique features. What sets this coin apart is its natural brown layer of toning, a rich and earthy patina that formed over the decades. Collectors do not see this as wear, they see it as art, a canvas painted by time itself. The soft hues give the coin a character unlike any other, a living fingerprint of history that makes this dime entirely one of a kind. Here is the text to convert. Combined with its very fine condition, the details of Liberty's winged cap, the torch, and the fasces still remain bold and clear, as if frozen in silver nearly a century ago. It is both a work of art and a relic of time. When it comes to rarity and demand, the 1923 no mint mark dime is one of the underappreciated but fiercely hunted gems of the series. Philadelphia struck a large mintage, but most were lost in circulation, melted, or heavily damaged. Very fine condition survivors with distinctive natural toning are now virtually treasures in disguise. For collectors, this coin is the kind that ignites excitement because it blends beauty, rarity, and condition into one irresistible package. It is not simply a coin, it is a prize, a trophy, and a declaration that your collection belongs among the elite. Now, let's reveal the current market value and prepare yourself for the shock. This 1923 Mercury dime without mint mark, with its brown layer and beautiful, very fine condition, is today valued at an incredible $87,000 in the auction market. That's $87,000 for a dime, once used in corner stores during the 1920s. Think about the magnitude of that number. This is not change. This is a vault of fortune, a treasure chest disguised in silver, a true millionaire maker. Owning this coin is like holding a slice of roaring 20s prosperity that has multiplied its worth into the realm of legend. Always pay attention to coins with natural toning and preserved condition. Many dismiss coins with unusual coloration, but the smart collector knows that such features often add uniqueness and value. A brown-toned Mercury dime from 1923 in very fine condition is not just rare, it is unforgettable, and it commands prices that soar higher with every passing year. The 1923 no mint mark Mercury dime is not just silver, it is a key to prosperity. With its natural brown layer, its history, and its breathtaking market value, it stands as proof that treasures don't fade. They grow stronger, rarer, and more powerful with time. To hold this coin is to hold the wealth of history itself, transformed into a modern-day fortune. Next coin number 6. Now, treasure hunters, we move into the closing years of the Mercury dime's reign, to the year 1944, a year that carried both struggle and hope. The Second World War was at its peak. The world was trembling, and America's mints were striking coins not only as currency, but as symbols of endurance and victory. Out of that defining year comes a dazzling survivor, the 1944 Mercury dime, with a D mint mark from Denver, carrying a beautiful look even in circulated condition, and commanding extraordinary value in today's market. Let's start with its history and background. The Mercury dime had already become beloved by the American people since its introduction in 1916, thanks to Adolph A. Weinman's masterful design. Lady Liberty, with her winged cap, was a vision of free thought and resilience, qualities desperately needed during wartime. The 1944 Denver issue was struck in 90% silver, at a time when every ounce of metal mattered, every coin carried meaning, and yet only a few survived to achieve the legendary status this particular piece holds today. Now let's talk about its unique features. This dime, though circulated, still shines with a beautiful look that has defied the decades. Its surfaces tell a story. Softened edges and light wear mark the journey of a coin that traveled through countless hands during wartime America. But beneath that circulation, the artistry remains visible. Liberty's youthful face, the sharp wings of freedom, and the fasces bound with olive branches, symbols of unity, peace, and strength. The D mint mark, tucked near the reverse design, ties it to the Denver Mint, and that small letter is what elevates this coin into the realm of treasure. When it comes to rarity and collector demand, the 1944 with D Mercury dime is a fascinating prize. While millions were struck, very few have survived the test of time in a way that captures both beauty and collectability. Circulated examples with strong eye appeal are cherished because they carry the soul of history, proof that even a well-used coin can become an elite treasure. Collectors crave such coins not only for their rarity, but also for the story they hold. A dime that passed through wartime hands, perhaps used to buy a soldier's letter home, now reborn as a six-figure fortune. And here comes the part that truly shakes the ground beneath us, the current market value. This 1944 Mercury dime, with a D mint mark, circulated yet beautiful, now carries an astonishing value of $80,500 in today's auction market. Yes, $80,500 for a coin once exchanged for a few goods in wartime Denver. This is not just currency, this is fortune, crystallized in silver, a vault of wealth compressed into a dime. Owning such a coin means possessing both history and treasure at once. And collectors know this is the kind of piece that cements a collection in glory. Never dismiss circulated coins. Too often, new collectors chase only mint state perfection. But the truth is, history and rarity elevate circulated coins to staggering levels of demand. The wear tells a story, the mint mark defines the rarity, and together they create a treasure that eclipses all expectations. Always study the details, because hidden within circulation lies greatness. The 1944 with D Mercury dime is not just a relic of silver, it is a millionaire maker, a fortune born from war, a coin that transforms history into wealth. Circulated or not, its beauty and rarity have lifted it into the halls of treasure, where only the most legendary coins belong. Next coin, number 7. And now, my friends, we reach the grand finale of our treasure hunt, the crown jewel that closes this extraordinary list with a thunderous roar. From the dawn of the Roaring Twenties comes a coin so rare, so breathtaking, and so powerful in its story that it stands as a millionaire maker in its own right. The 1920 Mercury dime with the coveted D mint mark, carrying a distinctive black dot and surviving today in fine condition. Let us begin with its history and background. The year was 1920. America was bursting with energy, industry was booming, and the nation was entering a decade of innovation and prosperity. At the same time, the Denver Mint was striking dimes that bore Adolph A. Weinman's magnificent design, the winged Liberty head, known to the world as the Mercury dime. Crafted in 90% silver, these coins were meant for everyday transactions, yet they carried within them the artistry of freedom and the spirit of a young, unstoppable nation. Among them, the 1920 with D became a silent rarity, a treasure disguised as common change. Now let's admire its unique features. This coin is instantly recognizable by the small D mint mark on its reverse, placing it firmly within Denver's proud coinage history. What makes this piece even more extraordinary is the black dot on its surface, a tiny but powerful marker of authenticity and age. For collectors, such a feature is not damage but a story, a symbol that this coin has lived a journey, carried through decades, and emerged as a true survivor. In fine condition, its beauty remains intact. Liberty's winged cap, the torch of freedom, and the olive branch-bound fasces shine through with elegance, proof that this dime has defied time itself. When we look at its rarity and collector demand, the 1920 with D Mercury dime is nothing short of a titan. The Denver Mint produced fewer coins than Philadelphia, and surviving examples in fine condition are fiercely hunted by collectors around the world. Each time one appears at auction, it ignites a firestorm of bidding, with collectors determined to seize a prize that is nearly impossible to find. This is not just a coin. This is a legend in silver, a cornerstone that transforms an ordinary collection into one of historic importance. And now we come to the part that will leave you absolutely stunned: the current market value. This 1920 Mercury dime with D mint mark, bearing its mysterious black dot and in fine condition, is valued at a staggering $98,500 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard me correctly, $98,500. That is not just money, that is a treasure chest in your hand, a vault of fortune, a dazzling jewel of numismatics. This is the kind of coin that instantly elevates its owner into the rarest ranks of collectors, the kind of piece that transforms ordinary wealth into legendary status. Always respect the details. The year, the mint mark, even a small dot on the surface, these are not random. They are clues, keys, and signals that unlock hidden fortunes. Never dismiss a Mercury dime, because within its silver surface may lie a treasure worth nearly $100,000. So as we close the final chapter of this epic journey, let this truth echo in your heart. The 1920 with D Mercury dime is not just silver, not just currency. It is history, it is rarity, and it is wealth crystallized. It stands as proof that treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered by those bold enough to look. And there you have it, the top 7 ultra-rare Mercury dimes, each one a millionaire maker in its own right. From the mysteries of the 1939 no mint mark to the roaring power of the 1920 D finale, these coins remind us that history still holds treasures and fortunes can still be uncovered in the palm of your hand. Stay with this channel, because here we don't just talk coins, we uncover treasure. And remember, every subscription, every like, every share keeps this treasure hunt alive. This is your trusted channel for rare coins, history, and hidden fortune.